Hey there, everybody. My name is Jacob or Frisky Squid. That's Lance or Frisky Crab. And we have a game review here for you today. So, as this is the first one on this channel, I'm just going to very quick overview of what you can expect. We have a 6 category weighted scoring system that we've put together to try and give the most accurate possible score and feel and just so that you as the viewer can make a decision if this is a game that you want to play or just watch or you don't want anything to do with it. So with that being said, we will show the score of that filled out table at the very end. So if that's all you're looking for, feel free to jump to the end. However, if you want a more detailed review of this game, we'll go through each of these different categories, try and give some highlights of what each of those categories hits. We've got like gameplay feel, graphics, character development, all that. And then once that's all done, we'll kind of have a nice little wrap up and so on and so forth. So, with that being said, let's hop into it. Crab, since you're the one that played this game, I'll kind of hand it off to you. Tell us a little bit about who made this, what the game is, and where you can play it.
All right. So, as you can see from the intro video, we are going to be reviewing Khazan, the First Berserker today. It was developed by Neople, Neoplay. I don't know how to say it. Neople. Yeah. Game came out in March of 2025. You can play it on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC, whatever your fancy is.
Nice. I like that.
It is an action RPG game. Games that I kind of like where you don't have to sneak around too much. You just hack and slash your way through.
That is your gameplay style. Absolutely.
Um
Well, good. Yeah, that's I'm just kind of curious because I had never like heard of this game. Um and so when we were kind of talking about doing a game review, like did you know it was coming down the pipeline or was it just something that you saw? And you were
it's
curious?
basically just something that I saw. Like I've seen a few trailers for it and I kind of like games like that. Like I wouldn't yeah, just games like that in general I kind of like.
Sure. Yeah, no, like when we were talking about doing a game review for the channel, like I when you said First Berserker, I was like, what the heck is that? Searching it. But anyway. No, okay. So yeah, PlayStation, Xbox, PC. So pretty much hitting the full gamut except for the Switch.
Yeah.
But
Switch.
Yeah, I don't have the Switch.
I can't say that I have a Switch, so.
Right, yeah. It sounds like they got some decent games out there. So if you like the Switch, sorry about that. Okay. Going into overall gameplay feel, you mentioned that it was action RPG, but I guess I'll just kind of like pop right into it. So, what stood out to you right away in terms of gameplay feel? I would assume with a type of game like this, from my understanding, when I looked at it, it's kind of a bit of a Souls type game. So, some boss fights. Were there like any memorable moments right away that jumped out to you, or was there anything that was unexpected kind of when you first got into this game?
Um, when I first got into the game, I would say uh, I wasn't expecting well, let's just go into the first boss that I had to fight. I wasn't expecting it to be a huge Yeti monster with ice spikes popping out of its back. But after the first couple boss fights of seeing what it was kind of to be expected.
Okay. So like once you kind of got into it, it wasn't like every boss fight was this big, terrible new creature that you weren't expecting, or like was there anything super, super scary, or was it just relatively a lot of the same?
Mm, the only scary parts I'd have to say were when I was going against fighting up against spiders.
You and I both
Hate
agree on
spiders. Hate
that.
spiders in any game because with any game, spiders can just pop down right in front of you from out of nowhere.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh. In real life speaking, like you get them little black ones, I can handle those. But you get any of those that are like furry and
Ugh.
ugh. No thanks.
No, thank.
So for this game, how was the difficulty? Was the gameplay smooth? Were there any like buggy spots? Obviously with the souls you want the fighting to be clean, crisp.
Hmm.
And how was the learning curve?
So it is a typical Souls like game. If you've never played it before, it's gonna be difficult, whichever difficulty you put it on. When I first started it, I put it on normal difficulty. And after about the third boss, I had to bring it down to beginner
How many
because
difficulties were there?
there was
3?
3 of them.
Okay.
But if you complete the game on hard, there is another difficulty. I can't remember what the
Uh,
name of it is. It's even harder than that, and
like a hard extra or something?
yeah, like
Okay.
expert mode type deal. But
And
what else?
do you have to play that all the way through on that
You
difficulty, or
have to play it all the way through on that difficulty in
oof,
order to unlock it.
gotcha. Okay. Well, there you go for you super hard end grinders. That ain't me. Okay.
No, that's not me either.
And but like so the gameplay felt pretty good, or was it just kind of okay?
It was all right. If like for people that have never played a Souls type game in their life, there's gonna be a learning curve to it.
Sure.
Like
Like
plain
could
and
you
simple.
so my experience with Elden Ring, if you like dodge, do you not take any damage or
If you dodge at the right time, you won't take any damage at all.
okay, okay.
Like if you dodge and you like are just a little bit into their area of impact, you're gonna get hit.
Okay. Okay. So there's probably some similarities, but probably some slight differences. But
Yeah.
it is nice. At least the first thing that stand out to me, like with Souls, I would have liked the ability to have a difficulty because then I feel like
That
I
would
can
have
at least finish the game. I know
Yep.
your typical Souls player will be like, screw that, but for someone who's trying to do a review and get the game out or just try to get the feel of the game. I can understand both ways. I can understand the grind, and I can also understand wanting to enjoy a little bit of it too. So
Absolutely.
let's kind of pop into the story a little bit. So obviously, we don't want to give away too much for spoilers, in case anybody again wants to pick this up or is curious. Or so, I guess with that being said, how was the overall story development? Did it did it give you a bunch of background information, or did it just kind of throw you right in? And if so, were you able to understand where the story was trying to take you, or did it take a bit to kind of understand this is where I'm going next?
So, for the intro of the game, when you're just first figuring out the controls and the mechanics, it doesn't really delve too much into the story.
Okay.
But as you progress through it, more of the story unfolds and you start figuring out who did what they did to you, and so on and so forth.
So it's kind of a slow burn. Like you
Yes.
okay. Okay.
Yep,
And
they wanted to um basically, oh, what's the word for it?
so is this like a standalone game, or is this like a second or third in the series?
No, this is standalone.
Okay. Okay.
Probably
S-
for first and last of its series.
right. So that they planned it that
Mm.
way where they wanted to kind of throw you in, and then the story develops on itself in some
Yep.
sort of a linear fashion. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I guess was it a story that once you kind of like got complete and some of the main events that happened, were you like captured all the way through, or did you find yourself going, "Oh, I wouldn't really care if I finished this," or like that sort of thing? Like, how was your take with that?
This the storyline itself was good. I enjoyed it. It kept me interested pretty much throughout. One thing I will say is if you want to have a relatively easy time playing this game, you need to do the side shit, the side stuff.
Oh, okay, sure. Did you do much of that or not really?
I did as much as I could so I could at least have a healthy level to play the games. I
Right.
know people who play soul games, they could probably be level 15 and go all the way through it.
Right. I would say your higher end players could probably do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, these at least that's the good thing with a Souls type experience is that I've played some games where you can go around and you can do the side quests and you could get your character super beefy and strong, and then you get to the
Mhm.
end boss and it's like flicking a flea. Um, but I would assume maybe in this type of experience it's not that way, or like when you got to the end, did the was the difficulty still balanced, or did you find it was easier or harder, or
The difficulty was still balanced. It was a little it he the last boss was a little bit more difficult than usual ones. Like they're throughout the games, most bosses you only got to defeat once.
Mm,
There were a couple bosses where you had to beat them the first time, and then they get a boost of power, and then you got to beat them again. This guy had to beat him three
ooh.
freaking times.
So you had like you beat him, you got him all the way down to his health bar, you play him again, you beat him down again, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that would. How many how many times did you try it?
the last boss took me about 5 tries. It
Well, that's
sucked.
not terrible. I've heard
Uh,
of worse, but
one thing I will say with about the boss fights is you have the opportunity to have like a NPC ally fight with you for a
oh,
while
okay,
until their health depletes and they
sure.
they die,
Right.
which is very helpful.
Right. And you don't have to.
You don't have to, no, but for me, being not having played Souls games very often
It
or
was a
very much at
nice.
all, it was nice
Well, that's good.
to have that.
Yeah. That would be nice. That was the one thing with.
Mm.
Again, I go back to Elden Ring because that's the one type that I've played. Going back to that
Mhm.
experience, it would have been nice to have something like that because if you didn't have a friend that had the game or it was in that, I just remember the multiplayer being kind of iffy,
Mhm.
and it would have been nice at times if you come across a certain boss to have some help, I
Yes.
guess. And if you didn't have help, I remember going against bosses like 30 times, just trying every which way to figure out how to beat them. And when you finally beat them, it's like, yeah. But anyway, well,
The
that's good.
sense of accomplishment.
Right. So overall, you said this, like you thought the story was where it led you made sense. So
Yes.
that's good. Okay. So that being said, we've kind of touched on, some of the early parts, mechanics, story development. I guess we'll talk about the characters a little bit. Um, I would assume the main character was this Khazan guy that you were playing with.
Mhm.
How would you say the overall character development of him was? Um, then, like, were there any impactful sidekicks? Did you play as anybody else, or was it strictly Khazan? Am I saying that right? Is it Khazan or is it
It's Khazan is how they
Khazan?
say
Okay,
it.
Khazan. And then on top of that, how would you rate like the main villain or villains?
So the overall character development for Khazan, um, pretty pretty standard. You start out pretty much low on the totem pole. You're not very strong. You kill people, get their souls, upgrade your weapons, your armor, your strength, health, stamina. Pretty straightforward. Um, as for side characters, there's really only one side character that made an impact in the game. I won't give very much detail into it other than that. All the other characters that you talk to or get involved with, they really make no contribution to the game whatsoever. Like they don't fight alongside you. They give you a side quest. That's about
Oh, okay.
it.
So more of a distraction than anything else.
Pretty much.
One of those that if you never saw him again, or if you had to pick them out of the lineup, you probably wouldn't really know who they are. Sort of
No.
like they were just there, they filled something, but they weren't of any significant value.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So it's, and I would feel like, in a game like this, character development would be a pretty big piece. Uh,
Yes. Um One thing that is very important is your stamina in the game. You
oh,
have to keep your eye on it constantly. Make sure it's not depleted because if it depletes, you're leaving yourself open to attack. You can't block. You can't move. You can't do anything until it gets back up to 100%.
so can you add like skill points to different aspects like power or blocking or
Yeah.
stamina? Okay. Okay.
Yep. You
So
can do all of that.
could you reset it if you went too far one way and you're like, I don't like how this character feels. I want to move my attributes in a different spot, or if you add something is pretty much locked.
Yes, you can reset it.
Okay.
There's a specific item in the game that lets you reset your attributes.
Okay. So you can't like do it willy nilly. You gotta,
No,
or when you find the object, can you only use it once? Or
I believe you can make it if you have
oh,
all the right ingredients for it, but you can
okay,
also find it along your journey through the
like
game too.
like buy it from
Or you
vendors
can buy
or
it from vendors, yes.
oh, okay, okay. And I can you like buy or say like weapons? Do the weapons have certain attributes that allow you to do certain things, or is it
Yep,
strictly kind of
there are
okay?
some weapons that deal more damage. There are some weapons that um help you with blocking.
Okay,
They have blocking attributes.
sure.
Um all that fun stuff.
And were there like
It's the same with the armor too.
was there a
Armor has
wide
different.
okay. Was there like a wide variety of different, or was it like mainly you get this and this and
You
that's
get
what you get?
three. There's three types of weapons. You can choose between a dual wield, a sword, and a double sided axe. You can wield a great sword, or you can wield a staff. And
Okay.
then um, there's different styles of each weapon that you can get.
Was there a style that you preferred more than something else, or
Mm. There was one armor style that I liked more than more than the rest, and once you get get further or get far enough into the game, all the armor styles that you've collected, you can, if you don't like the style that you're wearing, but it gives you really good like armor or really good at defense, you can just put another. You can
change the
what
skin
is
of
it?
it?
You can change the skin of it. Yes.
So if you like the attributes from another one, but you think it looks like a turd wrapped in cloth, you can change it to look a
Yes.
little more badass. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Exactly.
So in terms of like, at least for me, I'm a big sucker for high end graphics, good visuals. Audio plays a big key, especially in newer games. Like obviously if I'm going to play a game that's 10, 12 years old, I'm playing more for nostalgia. But if I'm playing a newer game, I don't know, I have a certain level of, you know, if it looks good, it plays good, I seem to like it a little bit more. So I mean, I guess in terms of just the overall visuals, graphics, what was your take?
As far as the visuals and graphics go, mostly throughout the whole game, each stage had a great view of everything.
Was there like
um, like
multiple different areas or was it
there there were, yes. For the most part, a lot of the stages were different, but when you get into the side quests, it's a lot of the same stuff. Like you, let's say main mission, you go from one end of the area, get to the other end. A side quest, you start at the end that you got to, and you gotta get back to the other end where you began at.
okay?
So it was kind of repetitive for that part, but
So was it like a
um,
lot of like dungeons and or were like
there
what was
were
some of the
some
landscapes?
there were some dungeons, there were some caverns, um, a few castles,
Okay.
but yeah, that was pretty much it.
Okay. But overall
For
you said so and just when I like kind of peeked at it, it kind of looked like it had some like Borderlands type visuals. Is that kind of how you would
the characters were, I would say, had more of a Borderlands type vibe to it.
okay.
Now, as far as the areas that you were playing in, they were more Dark Souls type areas.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Um,
Um,
what was the did the Borderlands type visuals, did it make sense or did it feel off or like
uh, with it being a Souls type game, it was kind of weird, but at the same time, I kind of liked it.
yeah,
I've always liked Borderlands type visual games.
they're definitely different.
Yes,
Like,
they are.
and is that one of the reasons you decided to play this is because of that or
Not at all.
oh, okay.
I just liked how the trailer was. I liked the action, the blood.
Right. Would you say like you mentioned blood was that aspect of it kind of realistic or was it just kind of like oh he fell to the floor and there's a puddle?
No, it was realistic. Like if you like, it's it's different for every time depending on which way you kill them. Sometimes you can cut off their heads
Hmm.
and a bunch of blood just spews out of their neck, which is very nice.
Nice. Nice.
Others you
If you're somebody that I like that. I'm a bit of a gore freak, but some
yes.
others might not. So is there like a way that you can like turn that down or
I
um
have no I'm assuming there probably is,
probably
but
is. Sure.
like there's a setting, like if you don't like spiders, there's an arachnophobia setting
Oh,
where it turns the spiders into little rock creatures. That way they're not as scary looking.
not as freaky, not as scary. Well, at least
Yes.
yeah. Well, that's nice. Yeah, I even though I don't like spiders, I still like to see the
Yes.
fangs and the nastiness. Puts me in a certain type of vibe. Okay. Okay. So I guess the we've kind of ran through the gamut of a lot of the main questions. Hopefully, we've hit on a lot of what people are looking for. So I mean, I guess I'll kind of get into the meat of it, kind of what we're here to talk about. So like value, price, game length. How or was the game worth the experience? How long did it take you to complete it? And if you wanted, if it would this be a game that you'd come back and play again? I guess I'll ask it that way.
um for the price, $60, I would say it's definitely very well worth the price. Um Game took me just a little over 30 hours to beat it. It wasn't bad playing 2-3 hours a day when I could.
Hmm. And
Wasn't terrible.
that wasn't like was that completionist or was that just like, hey, I did stuff as I
Just
came across it?
did stuff as it came across. I didn't get every trophy or award there was to get. Um,
So you'd say that'd be a pretty standard average
yeah,
gameplay. Okay.
I'd say so. If you were looking to, like, there are some collectibles in the game. Like I said, if it was close by, um, I'd get it, but I wouldn't spend a lot of time trying to find it.
You wouldn't go out of your way to be like, oh, I've got 29 of 30 collectibles. I need to go find one more sort of thing.
Yeah, like if
Okay.
it's already in an area that I've completed, I'm not gonna go back and try to find it.
And I assume that's how most people play. At least I'll speak for myself. Like when I'm doing a first playthrough, like I'll just run and kind of do things as I come across them.
Mm-hmm.
And but now if I'm like trying to do a completionist run second time through, that's when I'll be like, okay, I got to find all these and do all this. Like
Take it a little bit
the
slower, yeah.
yeah, the main story at that point, like I already know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so overall, you'd say that for the $60 price point, how the game feels, how the characters are story wise, 30 hours. If somebody was interested in this, would you recommend for this type of experience, or like, is there a certain crowd that you would potentially recommend this to, or and like kind of like hit on that?
As if you're a Dark Souls player, like if you enjoy playing Dark Souls or heck even the Darksiders series, I'd say this is a good game to play.
Okay,
Now as for your average player, it's probably not for them.
sure, sure. So if somebody hasn't really got into this Souls type experience, maybe this isn't a good one for them to start out on. Is that kind of
Probably not. No. If you're
okay?
gonna start with a Dark Souls type game, start with Dark Souls.
Right. Start with the one that kind of started the term of it.
Yes.
Oh, that's good to know. Okay. Well, yeah. So I guess let's kind of talk about the overall score. So yeah, I like me just kind of looking at it. Looks like obviously you scored the graphics very well, but I guess I'll start top to bottom. Gave it a 1 for the gameplay feel, 1.5 for the game mechanics and controls, 1 for story development, half for character development. Which I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense where you said like main character felt okay, but the side
Well,
really
yeah, touching on that a little bit more, like interacting with any of the other characters really didn't do
right.
anything for Kazan either. So
Sure. Okay. Graphics and visuals and audio. Obviously, you gave that the full gamut of two. So that I mean that's good to see. And then value considerations 1 for a total of 7 out of 10. Overall, I mean, like just me listening to you talk about it. And again, I haven't touched it. I personally, I probably wouldn't play a game like this, but it is kind of curious to hear of a different type of game like that that's out there. But just kind of the sense that I get from you is yeah, it's like a 7 is a good overall score. Solid game, but not maybe like super high end, like, oh hey, everybody come play this right now,
yes,
sort of thing.
exactly.
So yeah, it's like if you're somebody that's looking for this type of Souls type experience, hey, come and play it. You're gonna get what you're looking for. If you're
Yep.
somebody that's maybe like, I don't mind a little bit of it here or there, but if I didn't have to play it, I don't really care to play it. Well, yeah, so that makes sense. We'll just kind of leave it at that. Any closing comments from you there, Crab?
Hey, if you like the video, hit that like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more reviews and gameplay coming at you along the way.
Absolutely. With that, we'll sign off. See you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.